Welcome to this week's program. In today's special, we will view two different worlds that are in fact very similar. These are the important ideas of mathematics and theatre. Believe it or not, but math is all around you, and theatre greatly relies on benefits from math, and vice versa. As you view this program, I'd suggest you pay attention, have an open mind, take notes, and have a deep love for furry animals.
This is a pencil. The pencil is a very useful instrument and is used for writing, sharpening, erasing, and doodling. Other common uses include the Q-tip, a toothbrush, or stabbing weapon. The pencil is a very useful tool for solving equations and writing notes in your script. Miss Helga von Furrywinkel shall now present her theories about theatre and math on the brain.
In my years of study, I have found that those closely associated with school theater productions are generally located in the upper quartile of student intelligence. In some theories, it is also suggested that students involved in theater do better in school and acquire more knowledge in most subjects, including math. I believe that theater practices, including memorization and blocking, greatly exercise the brain, much like a complex math problem, and involvement in theater will greatly increase one's academic success.
In your opinion, what is important about theater in the school curriculum?
Well, theater makes students open up more and they tend to have more friends because they're more outgoing.
Theater is inspiring and it's very fun, so students will feel better about themselves and get better grades.
Theater is so important to me. It makes me so motivated to do the best I can. It gets me good grades, it keeps me focused. How about you?
Well, in the play, I get to wear a fat suit.
Really? Really?
What?
I love theater.
I shall now introduce Dr. Frederick P. Fannybottom for this exclusive interview.
What is your knowledge of the similarities between mathematics and theater?
Well, the two are indeed closer related than one would think. Costumes, sets, and props all involve skills in measurements, geometry, and proportions. Directors also collect and record data to plan events and to manage budget accounts. Stage crew must also be highly intelligible in math and use measurement in ordinary backstage procedures.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrea Snitzer and this is my assistant Chelsea Bukowski. Today we will be learning the derivatives of Mr. Blanch x squared, as you can see right here. H, capital H, stands for the height of theater. As you can see, we are taking the derivative of f of x as limit h approaches loves theater of f of x plus h minus f of x over h.
That's the definition of a derivative.
Very good, Chelsea. This equals the limit as math approaches loves theater, Mr. Blanch x plus h squared minus Mr. Blanch x squared over h. As you can see, we are substituting x plus h and x for the equation, the original equation. Now, the next step, limit approaches as h approaches loves theater of Mr. Blanch x squared plus Mr. Blanch 2xh plus Mr. Blanch h squared minus Mr. Blanch x squared. As you can see here, we are distributing the properties of x plus h. And then the next step, oh, I almost forgot, never forget to leave it over h, okay? The next step is limit...
Don't you have to cancel Mr. Blanch x squared and minus Mr. Blanch x squared?
Thank you, Chelsea. You are incredibly right. As you can see here, Chelsea is crossing out Mr. Blanch x squared minus Mr. Blanch x squared. These cancellations lead to the next step. As the limit approaches h approaches loves theater, Mr. Blanch 2xh plus Mr. Blanch h squared over h. This right here is what's left over. So now we can set it equal to the limit of math approaches loves theater, and we can factor out an h now, and we have h times the quantity of Mr. Blanch 2x plus Mr. Blanch h all over h. Now, Chelsea, we can cancel out the h's. And that leaves us with our final step as limit of h approaches loves theater, Mr. Blanch 2x plus Mr. Blanch h. That is what we have left over here, and that leaves us with our answer as we substitute for h, the loves theater, Mr. Blanch 2x plus Mr. Blanch loves theater. And that is our equation. Mr. Blanch loves theater. As you can see by the graph, this function is neither differentiable or continuous. Thank you very much for joining us today, and remember, Mr. Blanch loves theater.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
This Thursday, November 11th, Friday, November 12th, and Saturday, November 13th, Kenmore East proudly presents...
Good heavens, Lane! Why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I may mention the fact that I have always suspected you of being a confirmed and secret Bunburyist. I'm quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
Ignorance is like a delicate, exotic fruit. Touch it, and the bloom is gone.
Muffins! Ah!
The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in London at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever.
Jamie Boswell, Ian Boswell, Chelsea Butowski, Andrea Snitzer, Emily Warren, Mark Slajeski, Amanda Schultz, Paul Berlinski, and Lewis Winters in
The importance of being earnest!
The Importance of Being Earnest.
This is an auditorium and stage. A play or musical occurs at this location. It is located towards the center of the building on the first floor. The auditorium is composed of 900 amount of chairs, in 30 amount of columns, and 30 amount of rows. We shall now conclude with a mathematical problem. Sir Nathaniel Quarternickel has just received a part in the renowned Broadway musical, I Wish I Was a Pony. Nathaniel is 4 feet high and 17 years of age. His character, Duncan Waterbiscuit, has 247 lines in the 678-page script, all being no more than 2 paragraphs long. He enjoys long walks on the beach, as well as short naps directly preceding afternoon tea. Olga Trufflenini is portraying the part of Duchess Vilma Fitzgerald the 47th, and has 137 lines in Act 1, and 114 lines in Act 2. Her favorite color is lime green. This is Lewis Summers. He is portraying the role of the manservant, most arguably the popular and critically acclaimed character in modern theater. He has 8 lines, half of them being no longer than 2 words each, accounting to around 2.5 minutes of stage time. He enjoys playing cricket.
He runs up, he bowls to Cowdrey, and no shot at all, extremely well not played there.
And consuming rice pudding. If Sir Nathaniel has the same amount of lines in Act 1 and Act 2, and if Mr. Summers only appears in Act 1, how many lines are recited if each character recites the lines perfectly? On the opening night of the 2nd day of the 8th month of the 48th year of the 20th century, 660 audience members were recorded as having attended. 6/8 of the audience was female, and 22% were under the age of 12. If children are free, and adult males and females are $7.35 each, what is the exact dollar amount of the night's profit? Please record your answers on a separate sheet of paper for future correcting.
Thank you for viewing today's program. I hope you have gained a greater appreciation for theater and math and see the fantastic relationship they share. I sincerely hope that the results of today's program open up new doors of interests and entertainment. Please join us next week on cable channel 1024 at the ideal time slot of 3 o'clock in the morning, where we will examine relations between the common field mouse and fresh fruit. Thank you for watching. If you have anything going on, good luck, make wise choices, and come to the play.